I challenged myself to watch 100 anime, and now I'm 1/4 into my challenge. I decided to go and take a look at everything I've watched so far. Let's just start at the beginning. Angel Beach. I think that's B tier. I really liked it. It's one of the first anime I've watched, actually, and one of the first non-magical girl show that I've watched. Yeah, I probably have to rewatch it. It's probably not as good the second time around, but I really liked it. But it's not the best thing, so I like B tier seems like a reasonable thing. Oh, I love this show. I can explain why I put this in A tier. Because I was like hooked from the start till the end. The end was a little bit disappointing, but like, it's the friends we made along the way, right? The ending matters, but the way you get to the ending also matters. And this show had me gripped from start to finish. Attack on Titan. Okay, so this is an S tier show. The latest season is a bit of a letdown, but it's still far ahead a lot of other shows, and it also holds a special place in my heart. I literally started watching it when it just came out. Black Butler. Okay, so I haven't watched that. I wanted to start watching it, and really funny, I watched 2/3 of an episode and was like really impressed by it. And then I paused it because I had to do something else, and then when I came back, I realized I was watching episode 24 instead of 1, and I just didn't realize. I just thought, like, sometimes you have those anime that just drop you in like the midst of chaos and everything else will be explained after. Like, I thought it was like that. It didn't make any sense to me why I didn't realize it. Bleach is fucking amazing, man. I am like 40 episodes in. I'm so in love with Bleach. Like, I watched Jujutsu Kaisen way before I watched Bleach, and everyone said that Jujutsu Kaisen is heavily inspired by like the older shonen, and I can really see why people say that, because everything I love about Jujutsu Kaisen is also in Bleach, but somehow Bleach is better. But I love Jujutsu Kaisen for other reasons, and Bleach is amazing. I put that in S tier, man. The next one is Blue Exorcist. Okay, this is a toss-up. I really loved it. It was a really good anime, but the first season was so wacky. Okay, so I'm putting it in A tier. Let's just establish that. I'm putting it in A tier. Apparently, when the first season was made, there wasn't enough manga yet to even make 25 episodes. So over the last third of the season, they tried to speedrun to the end. Didn't really work. So when season 2 came around, they actually retconned the last third of the first season, and then it became actually really good. But because the second season was very profitable, I read that there's a very slim chance that there will be a third season, so I will have to get my hands on the manga because it's so good. Death Note, S tier. No questions. No question for that. S tier is Death Note. What do I have to add? It's one of my favorite anime. It's one of my favorite manga. There's very little wrong with it. The only things I think are wrong with it is like in the second half, things becoming a bit messy, but it's still solid. And especially compared to a lot of other things, it's still a lot better than a lot of things. I just wish that the second half they would have increased the pacing a little bit. But overall, fucking amazing. S tier. Demon Slayer. A tier. I know a lot of people say Demon Slayer is carried by the animation. That's very true. But I also think if you're watching anime, a part of what makes anime different from manga is that the anime has an extra element to play with. Because it can play with visuals and music, it definitely matters. And Demon Slayer is gorgeous. It's fucking amazing. It gives me chills every time. Even though the story isn't as great. It's very tropey. It's very basic. The fact that it can make me feel goosebumps and chills. Not a lot of shows do that to begin with, even if they have good stories. Elfen Lied. Okay, B tier. I'm going to lean on the fact that I watched this as one of the first few anime I've watched. I was 13 years old. I was very edgy, so I loved this whatever this was. And I just really like when anime gets really gory and weird. I just can't help it. I will probably not like the show the second time around as much. But like, hey, I'm basing this on the first time I watched it, okay? I haven't watched Erased. I haven't watched Fairy Tail. I have, however, watched fucking Fate Zero, and I hated the shit out of it. I just couldn't keep watching. I really disliked it. I had to push myself through the first 3 episodes, and didn't really help that the first episode was an hour long. What the fuck was this? Everyone loves this. Fate fans are gonna lose it over this, but that's fine. That's completely fine. Fullmetal Alchemist, S tier. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is so good. Like, I love science. I love elemental magic. If you like Avatar The Last Airbender, it isn't a far stretch that you like Fullmetal Alchemist. Those two are in a very similar category. Okay, let's continue. Haikyuu. I'm gonna put that in. Am I putting that in S tier? I really fucking love Haikyuu. It combines slice of life, it's sports, it has really cool animation, it has amazing characters. I might be also a little bit biased because I played volleyball when I was like, it was late elementary school. I really love volleyball. House Moving Castle. I really think that's worthy of an S tier as well. It's a really, really good movie. The only thing, I watched it with my family, and my family isn't really a fan of the Japanese dub for the reason that I can't really vibe with it the same way as with English dub, which I don't blame them for. But because I watched it with them, I had to watch it English dub, Dutch subtitles, which felt so wrong to me. So I will have to rewatch it at some point in the Japanese dub with English subtitles. It feels like the most authentic experience for me, but it is a really, really good movie. And then we land on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Mind you, I have watched half of the first season. Part 1, kind of shit. Like, is it... But also it's very enjoyable. The way do I put it? I'm really struggling to watch it, by the way. But I want to watch it before I move on. People say part 2 is like incredible compared to part 1 at least. I'm struggling, but I'm also enjoying it. I will put it at mid. Nah, I will just put it in mid. But yeah, I want to watch it all. And once I'm done with it, I don't have to come back to it ever again, you know? But because I know I will like the rest and I'm like a completionist, I want to watch that first. Mob Psycho. So I've like watched 4 episodes. So I can't really judge on the rest of the show, but I feel like it will be an S tier show, but I'm too early in to judge. So I'm putting it in high tier. I will probably move it up once I finish season 1. That show is so good. It's so good. My Hero Academia. I just love My Hero Academia. It's like a very tropey show. It's dragged out at some points. It's nothing new, but it does what it does really well. And I really like it. Last summer, a friend made me watch it. And I did. I watched everything in like a week. I don't do that unless I really, truly like something. Next up is Naruto. I've watched 1 episode. I really liked it, but if I watched 1 episode, I'm putting it at mid, with the same reason I put in Mob Psycho at high. I feel like if I watch more, it will rise. It will definitely rise. One Punch Man. I fucking love this shit. I just thought it was like a weird gimmick that people seem to love, but somehow it really works. Pokemon Indigo League. I grew up with this shit. I can't not put it in S tier. What's next? ReZero, high tier. I thought I was going to be just underwhelmed going to ReZero, but I ended up loving it. Yeah, I started watching it and I was like, it's just gonna be another isekai. That's how I went into it. But I moved it up because someone convinced me that I would love it. Technically, I've watched an episode of Sailor Moon, which I really loved then. But it's in the same boat of Naruto. I really loved it, but it's just 1 episode. I was already scrolled on the timeline for this one when I just finished it for the challenge. And that's it. I really disliked this show, Toradora. I really disliked it. I had to really put myself to watch 3 episodes. I know it's like the tsundere trope, but it's a bit extreme for me. I called it mid on Twitter, but with how I'm ranking these don't make sense, by the way. The mid tier isn't actually mid. Let's just rename these to good tier. And then this one needs to be mid tier. Like, they're on shit shows, but I've watched so much better. Sword Art Online. I've been shitting on Sword Art Online, but like this first season, I really like that whole VR thing, being in a game. However, this is the caveat I'm giving it. When they went to Alfheim, and I thought it was much further in the show than it actually is, I couldn't continue watching. I gave up. I literally gave up. I was such a completionist. Even if I didn't like something, I finished it. I couldn't continue with Sword Art Online. Even though I loved the first 12 episodes so much, I just fucking couldn't. Tokyo Ghoul S tier. I've been roasted for that before. Literally, if you go back into Mudan's older videos, he roasts people's My Anime list. For every bad take, according to him, he would do push-ups. And he did 2 for my 10 out of 10 rating of Tokyo Ghoul. I don't know. I've watched it twice now, and it still holds up to me. I think it's a fucking great anime, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. Violet Evergarden. Yeah, I think this is also S tier. This show did something to me that made me rethink how I judge anime. If it wasn't for this challenge, I probably wouldn't have watched Violet Evergarden. There's just this prejudice that I have against anime that have these movie quality shots that I just think, oh, it's just super pretty. There's nothing in it of importance. But this show has made me cry so many times. I also saw a lot of myself in Violet as the main character, I have a strong headcanon that she is autistic. The visuals definitely add to it, but they did a really, really good job telling the story and just making the vibe completely right. Like, absolutely right. Let's just find the next one. Your Name. This is like bordering on S tier. Yes, this was also like really carried by the visuals, but also this movie did more for me in like 1.5 hours than some anime did in several seasons. Is there another one left? I feel like there should be more. Oh, Yuri on Ice. A tier. This was amazing. There isn't a lot of queer representation in anime, and especially not in very popular ones either. Like, there's tons of boy love, girl love, all that jazz. But to have one in such a popular title, a wildly loved title as well, that was so fucking great to see. And it just made my heart full, and it made me happy to watch. Let's rearrange the tiers. So let's start at the bottom. I think I liked Fate Stay less than Toradora. As both Naruto and Sailor Moon are shows I think I will rise to A tier once I watch more. I will put them at the top of B tier. Yeah, I think Sword Art Online is at the bottom. I think I liked Elfen Lied more. No, wait. If it's just what I watched from Sword Art Online, it's above Elfen Lied, below Angel Beats. JoJo and C tier. Again, like I said, this is based on what I've watched from the show. Part 1 isn't great. Once I force myself to watch part 1 and go to part 2, it will definitely rise up. Next up, this mess. So, like I said, Mob Psycho is absolutely candidate for S tier. Another, like I said, it's very similar to the ones in B tier, but just slightly above, but it's over there. I think Yuri on Ice is up high here too. Demon Slayer, not up high. I think I like My Hero better than Blue Exorcist. And like, the hard thing is One Punch Man, I haven't watched a lot of that, but I've watched all of My Hero and I've watched all of Blue Exorcist. So at this point, I don't think One Punch Man is better than ReZero, but because I haven't watched that many, no, I'm gonna put it like here. And Your Name, no, I think this order is correct. For this one, which is the highest? Okay, I think Death Note? No, I think Full Metal Alchemist, followed by Death Note, followed by Attack on Titan, followed by Bleach, followed by Haikyuu. Yeah. I think... I know Tokyo Ghoul is a controversial one to be in S tier anyway, so I'm just going with it anyway. And let's see. Yeah. I think this is the final rating for now. So yeah, this is my current progress in my 100 anime challenge. Stay tuned for the next videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.